evening and welcome to News Geelong on this cooler Friday evening. Tonight we present stories from the 72nd commemoration of when war came to Australia on February 19, 1942, with the bombing of Darwin and the opening day's play in the Victorian Open Men's and Women's Golf Classics being played at the Barwon Heads 13th Beach Golf Courses. From the sports arena, Alex Tigani reports on the penultimate round of Geelong Bowling Region Lawn Bowls, with Port Arlington's win over Barina, and a report from the GCA division match between East Belmont and Grovedale. Weather-wise, in the ever-changing world of atmospheric conditions, we look at the Geelong and Surf Coast outlook for the coming 5 days. This week has seen another blow to the Geelong workforce and economy, with the announcement by Alcoa that it is closing its doors at the end of July this year. How times change. Our first report tonight is a reflection from July 4, 2012, when Ian Nichols spoke with the Mayor of the city at the time, Councillor John Mitchell, after lengthy and meaningful discussions with Alcoa World Headquarters regarding a lifeline to Alcoa was made.
The City of Greater Geelong is very pleased that Alcoa has been thrown a lifeline for its Point Henry smelter. $40 million from the federal government will go a long way to ensuring its immediate future. We're speaking with the Mayor of Geelong, Councillor John Mitchell.
There's no doubt that when this review was undertaken in February, there were some concerns as to whether Alcoa would be here or not. But look, as I've said all the way through, I'm more cup half full than cup half empty, and I'm really happy with the result. 2 years gives everyone an opportunity to continue to work towards keeping Alcoa here for longer.
Well, when you entered the United States and had meetings with the head office, you came away optimistic about the future. Did you believe that this was a genuine review of the company?
Oh yes, Ian, certainly. I've said all the way through that the most positive people out of the whole of this, and we've been to a number of places and spoke to a number of people, have been the Alcoa people, and they've always said that it was a genuine review. It wasn't a preconceived. There wasn't a preconceived outcome, and I firmly believe that, and that was certainly reinforced when I went over and spoke to the board, or a couple of members from the board in New York earlier in the year, and it's panned out that way. Look, it's difficult times for Alcoa. There's no doubt about that. High Australian dollar, low commodity price, a lot of inventory stacked around the world. But there is a demand. The demand for aluminium keeps growing. So yes, it's a good result for Geelong, and I'm sure we'll continue to work towards keeping Alcoa here for another 50 years.
Well, global conditions, of course, could change over the next couple of years, and we're in the lap of the gods there, aren't we?
Yeah, we certainly are. But the $40 million that the federal government put up is to be spent on the plant to make it more efficient, and Alcoa have embraced that. There's been some cost savings along the way. Unfortunately, I think 10% of the workforce will have to go. And they're looking. Alcoa are looking for people to put their hand up and say, look, we'll take a voluntary redundancy. But 65 people or 60 people won't have a job, and that's disappointing. But there was the chance that 600 people wouldn't have a job.
On the steps of City Hall, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
And now, the backflip, as we speak with Corangamite Federal MP Sarah Henderson regarding the shock announcement this week. 800 jobs axed at Alcoa, Point Henry and the Alcoa Power Station. Throughout the week, there was an announcement here in Geelong. Alcoa is closing down its operations at the end of July. Joining us, member for Corangamite, Sarah Henderson. Sarah, a sad day again for Geelong.
Graham, this is a very sad day. 800 jobs will go by the end of the year, and my heart at this very sad time goes out to all workers at Alcoa and their families, and also suppliers. We have many hundreds of people working in the supply chain for Alcoa, so a very, very sad day indeed.
I think this is one of the very important points, Sarah, from a local perspective, is we see, unfortunately, 800 jobs axed, as put across the front page of the, but it's the on-flow into our total economy, the side components, the people who buy their lunches, etc., etc.
Well, that's right, Graham. It has a terrible knock-on effect. I personally am very disappointed in Alcoa for giving its workforce such a short lead time. To be closing the smelter in August does not give its workers enough time to retrain, to find another job. So I think that's very, very disappointing. It's something I've spoken out about quite strongly. But I also think it's at this time we've got to stay positive. We are a great city. We have a great future, so much potential, but today is certainly a very grim day for Alcoa and its workforce.
We have shown a tenacity to fight on. Our manufacturing division seems to be on the down, but there are other ups to our side. But what is going to happen, to the best of your knowledge, to the Alcoa site?
Well, there's a big question mark over the Alcoa site. The land is owned by Alcoa. Alcoa does have some remediation obligations, but I think we're just going to have to wait and see what will happen with that site.
And of course it also affects the Anglesey Power Station.
Well, it does, and disappointingly, Alcoa haven't invested properly in the Alcoa power station. They really did need to have put in some sulphur dioxide scrubbing technology to minimise sulphur dioxide emissions from that plant. So that's disappointing. But I think more broadly, what we have seen with the Alcoa story is 2 years ago, the previous Labor government put $40 million, and it's now quite clear that that was nothing more than a band-aid solution. What's really disappointing, Graham, is that that money has now been lost. It's gone up into thin air. Where were the conditions attached to that money? Where were the safeguard for jobs? And so I think what we have seen from the previous government is a monumental failure when it comes to Alcoa. What we're focusing on is the importance of restructuring the economy, getting costs down, getting rid of red tape, regulation, tackling union corruption to make it easier for business to grow and to employ.
Positive signs ahead for Geelong?
Absolutely. We've got many wonderful things happening. We've got major investments in new roads, the Princess Highway duplication, the Great Ocean Road. Of course, the National Disability Insurance Agency headquarters are coming to Geelong. We've got amazing work happening at Deakin, incredible people of this great city. So there is much to be proud of and there's much to be hopeful about our future. We have a very bright future in advanced manufacturing, but we need to work very hard to bring those industries and those innovations to Geelong. I'm on the economic review panel set up by Industry Minister Ian Macfarlane, and at a time like this we'll be working very, very hard to bring those new initiatives to Geelong through funds such as our $100 million growth fund.
Always leading Geelong and always leading the seat of Corangamite. Sarah Henderson, thank you very much, and may we say giddy up Geelong.
Giddy up, and isn't Mayor Darren Lyons doing a great job? He's another very positive person. We don't need naysayers at a time like this. We need positivity, optimism. This is a great city and we can go from strength to strength.
Thank you, Sarah. We remain hopeful, obviously, as all Geelong and especially the loyal workforce at Alcoa do, that Geelong will find a way. As we go to a break, follow us on Facebook and Twitter and watch for your favourite segments on YouTube, uploaded each week following News Geelong going to air. We will return with more news after this.